Now, this one is a little wild because, on the one hand, we know that Donald Trump absolutely is a fascist. But on the other hand, John Bolton kind of has a point because Donald Trump is too stupid and too lazy to have any type of real political ideology. Donald Trump he's not a true nationalist. He doesn't really care about like the white supremacist cause. Is he a racist? Yes. But is he a true believer in all of that? No, he just doesn't like other races. Does Donald Trump have any real beliefs in conservatism? No, he absolutely does not. He's just a con artist corporatist. We know this. So let's see what John Bolton has to say. Because again, this is kind of an interesting take. Let's listen.
Ambassador Bolton, when you hear John Kelly say that Donald Trump meets the definition of a fascist, do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's extremely important that John has gone public to the extent he has in the Atlantic and the New York Times just a couple of weeks before the election, because even though some of the things in these articles have been reported publicly before, to have them all in one place, in effect, two places, I guess, and from John directly, I think is something the American people should listen to. I think it's a mistake to get into a controversy over whether Trump meets the definition of fascist or not. I think his behavior alone is troubling enough. To be a fascist, you have to have a philosophy. Trump's not capable of that. Adolf Hitler wrote a profoundly troubling book called Mein Kampf, My Struggle. Donald Trump couldn't even read his way all the way through that book, let alone write something like it. I'm not trying to understate the dangers of a Trump presidency. I think it's important to focus.
Yeah, see again, you know what I mean? Like he definitely has a point. On the one hand, he's like, no, I'm not trying to understate how big of an absolute disaster Donald Trump is. I'm not trying to minimize the problems he has caused or that he will cause if he gets in office again. But he's no Adolf Hitler. Basically he doesn't want to give him that much credit, I suppose. He's not a true mastermind. Is he a criminal? Yes, but he's a cheap criminal. He's a sloppy criminal. His schemes aren't even sophisticated. So in that regard, John Bolton does have a point, but Donald Trump is still a fascist at the end of the day.
Focus on the dangers themselves. And I'll just quickly give you two other characterizations of Donald Trump that I think may be more resonant. The first is Rex Tillerson, his first Secretary of State, has the iconic description of Donald Trump, takes two words, and that's that he's an effing moron. The second is Charles Krauthammer, one of the most astute analysts of contemporary America, tragic loss to the country that he died. But he once said to me, and I know he said this publicly, I estimated Trump wrong by about 10 years. Originally, I thought he was an 11-year-old, but I realized I was 10 years off. He's a 1-year-old.
It's so hilarious how everybody knows he's this blithering idiot, and yet, millions of Americans just can't see it. They just can't see it.
1-year-olds view the entire world, every sensation that comes at them through the prism of, does this benefit me? And that is a good description of Donald Trump. And it doesn't mean that 1-year-olds are all fascist. It means that's Donald Trump's mental acuity.
That's Donald Trump's mental acuity, that of a 1-year-old. Again, very true. Very true. Donald Trump is an idiot. He's one of the dumbest, most ridiculous people I've ever heard of, that I've ever been exposed to. He's an incredibly simple man. So again, on the one hand, Donald Trump absolutely is helping to usher in, fascistic energies and fascistic politicians and stuff like that. But does he actually have a real ideology and any real political conviction? No, he does not. Hey now, thank you so much for tuning in here at Politics and Paper. If you like what I do and you support my work, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and it really helps to support what we do here.